What if you were told you only had 5 more years to do what you love? For the undisputed king of country, George Strait, that isn't a hypothetical question. He's not just a country singer, he's an institution, a living legend who has defined the genre for nearly half a century. But recently, a surprising moment on stage sent a wave of concern through his fan base. In response, the legend himself made a statement that has everyone wondering if the end of an era is near. We're unpacking his emotional warning and what it means for the future of country music. This isn't just about a potential retirement, it's about the very human reality that even kings have to one day hang up their crowns. It all started where George Strait has always been most at home, on a massive stage, under the bright lights, in front of tens of thousands of adoring fans. The setting was a stadium show in Philadelphia in May of 2025. By all accounts, it was another signature performance from the king, as he delivered hit after hit with that same smooth, timeless voice that has produced a record-breaking number of #1 singles. But then, a small human moment cut through the larger-than-life performance. Fan videos captured Strait appearing to need a moment, briefly taking a seat on stage. For an artist known for his stoic, commanding presence, this simple act was enough to get people talking. Dramatics have never been his style. This wasn't a planned piece of showmanship. It felt real and vulnerable, sparking a flurry of online speculation. It was in this atmosphere of concern that Strait decided to address the audience directly. Rather than letting rumors fester, he paused the show and confronted the moment head-on with his characteristic, down-to-earth honesty. What he said next is the reason we're all talking about him today. It was a statement that was both a reassurance and a somber warning, a candid confession that gave fans a glimpse into the mind of a legend grappling with the inevitable passage of time. He didn't just talk about his health, he put a clock on his career. Standing before the Philadelphia crowd, the 73-year-old icon looked out at the faces that have been his fuel for 5 decades and laid it all on the line. With a voice that was steady but thoughtful, he said, "I have maybe 5 good years to sing my songs for you folks." Let that sink in. 5 years. In that single sentence, George Strait acknowledged the physical realities of aging while keeping up with a grueling tour schedule. He went on, "But hell, it's been around 50 now, and I still love it just as much as I ever did." Then he shared a sentiment that truly captured the emotional core of his career. "When I walk through those curtains and I see your smiling faces, my feet don't touch the ground again until I walk back out and get on that bus." The reaction was immediate and deeply emotional. Fans at the concert described the moment as heart-stopping. One attendee wrote on social media, "I was at the concert. I can tell you, at this moment, I cried." Another simply posted, "Oh, my heart." The clip quickly went viral, and the comments section became a digital wall of tribute and sadness. Fans weren't just reacting to a potential retirement, they were mourning the thought of a world without new George Strait concerts. For millions, his music has been the soundtrack to their lives: weddings, funerals, first dances, and quiet moments of reflection. The idea of that soundtrack coming to an end felt personal. As one fan summed it up perfectly, "Seeing this man live is the privilege of a lifetime. I feel so blessed." This wasn't just news, it felt like a collective heartbreak for the entire country music community. To really get the weight of this 5-year warning, you have to look back at George Strait's history with the word retirement. This isn't the first time he's talked about stepping away from the stage. Back in 2014, he wrapped up what was billed as his final tour, the Cowboy Rides Away tour. It was a massive, record-breaking farewell that seemed to be the definitive end of his touring career. Fans saw it as the final chapter for a man who had given everything to his music and deserved a quiet life on his Texas ranch. But the cowboy couldn't quite ride away. The pull of the stage was just too strong. Soon after his supposed retirement, he launched a wildly successful residency in Las Vegas that started in 2016 and was extended year after year because of overwhelming demand. He proved that while the grueling city-to-city tours might be over, his desire to perform was not. When the Vegas shows finished, he shifted to his current model, playing massive one-off stadium shows, often alongside modern titans of the genre like Chris Stapleton and Miranda Lambert. This history makes his recent statement all the more powerful. This isn't a man who is tired of the music or the fans. This is the man who retired and then immediately went back to work because he loves it so much. His comment isn't about a lack of passion, it's an honest admission from a 73-year-old performer about the physical toll it takes. The 5-year warning feels different from the 2014 farewell. That was a choice to change his lifestyle. This feels like an acknowledgement of a timeline he can no longer control. The issue isn't his will, it's the reality of performing at this level for so long. George Strait's statement wasn't a cry for sympathy or some dramatic farewell. It was an act of profound honesty and respect for his audience. In a world of carefully crafted press releases and social media spin, Strait chose to speak directly to his fans in the most authentic way possible, from the stage, mid-show. He was humanizing himself, reminding everyone that even the king of country is mortal. This moment wasn't born from a shocking revelation. Despite some baseless online rumors, there is no evidence of any serious illness. Strait hasn't canceled shows, and his team hasn't released any dire medical statements. What we saw was simply a man gracefully acknowledging the realities of getting older. And he's not slowing down. If anything, he's celebrating his legacy while he still can. He recently released his 31st studio album, Cowboys and Dreamers, in late 2024 to rave reviews from critics and fans. In December 2025, he was honored at the 47th Annual Kennedy Council Honors for his lifetime contribution to American culture. And his schedule is already filling up with massive stadium shows announced for 2026. This is not a man in decline. This is a man making every single moment count. The 5-year warning isn't a countdown to an end, but a promise to give his all for as long as he possibly can. So what does this all mean for the future of George Strait? It means that every concert, every song, and every moment he shares on stage from here on out is a gift. The 5-year warning wasn't a devastating update. It was a heartfelt, honest conversation between an artist and the fans who have stood by him for a lifetime. He's not saying goodbye tomorrow. He is still selling out stadiums, releasing new music, and being celebrated with the highest honors in the nation. But he has given us a timeline. He has reminded us that this legendary ride will eventually come to an end. For fans, it's a call to appreciate the time we have left with him on stage, to get those tickets, to sing along to Amarillo by Morning one more time, and to celebrate the man who has been the unwavering standard of country music for 5 decades. The cowboy may be planning his final ride, but he's making sure it's one we will never forget. What does George Strait's music mean to you? Share your favorite song or concert memory in the comments below. We'd love to hear your stories. And for more updates on the legends of country music, make sure you like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.